My name is Ziying Tan. I'm one of the senior principals and co-founder Alcor Solutions. We're one of the lead partner in the ServiceNow ecosystem. We have had the pleasure to work with County of Santa Barbara, Department of Behavioral Wellness since 2017. Today I'm honored to have Ryan joining me for this wonderful conversation.
Yep. Thank you, Magic. Happy to be here. Again, my name is Ryan Weyman, and I'm the branch chief of IT with the County of Santa Barbara for our behavioral wellness department. And we've been a partner, like you mentioned, since 2017. And we're looking forward to continuing partnership as well as continuing to see where we can automate. And this conference has been so beneficial to learn about many of the technologies and some that we've had an opportunity to discuss, as well as, improving upon things that we've developed already.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we dive into the specific agenda today, right, to talk about onboarding, offboarding of clinicians, Ryan, you come from much larger healthcare organizations, right? So what are you seeing out there in terms of trends, opportunities, especially at this conference, seeing all the innovations that's out there?
Yeah, definitely at this conference, a lot of innovations, and I'm sure we're going to be having some discussions in the future about those and how we can benefit and leverage some of those. And really, even though I want to say being overwhelmed with so many different things we're learning, but really, being realistic,
right?
So we can maybe start small, but really, where are we going to get the most bang for the buck, so to speak, or what are those things that are going to give us the most amount of time back for not only our clinicians that are helping folks in our community, but also with our IT team and how we could, automate some of those things that is taking a lot of time, but really we might be able to create, a new AI agent, so to speak, to help offset some of that time. So that's great. And you had mentioned, I did come from another health organization, which was very large. We'd used ServiceNow for many years, and they had a lot of automations we used. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, what are some of those opportunities that I'd used in the past with some of my teams, as well as what are some of our other counties, as an example, within California, and how they are leveraging some automations, as well as that, since they have the same electronic healthcare record as we discussed previously, and that may also be using ServiceNow, so we could learn from others. And then as we develop things with Alcor and the county, that we could also, maybe share some of those with others as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Now, talking about the main theme, right, for today's conversation, onboarding, offboarding of the clinicians, right? So I know Alcor partnered with your team. We implemented ServiceNow Enterprise Onboarding, Offboarding solution together also with Access Flow, which is Alcor developed product to automate the access management side of things for your clinicians. And I still remember when we did the implementation, there were so many manual processes, and then we were able to automate those. So just want to hear your perspectives, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, some of the benefits.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So as you know, some of those were done that you guys developed prior to my time, working with your Alcor as well as being with the county. But from my observation as I come in, I see definitely the benefits, but as you mentioned, with regards to onboarding, offboarding, hearing from my team, the process they had previously that was a manual process, it could be through email, which things can get lost in the shuffle, or voicemails, whatever those mechanisms were. So it's really speed up the process. We work with a lot of partners in our community within Santa Barbara that help also provide care to clients. And so being able to provide a quick way for them to get access to the EHR as an example, and other tools that they need, making sure they get the correct access. And so allowing them, and that of course is help manage with ServiceNow for our CBOs that are out there in the community. So that's been a definite benefit. I'm always interested to know, so for yourself, if we have other ideas to continue to expand on that. And maybe even, as we've done in the past, look at our workflows and see if there's ways that we could, what else could we improve upon. So I'm excited about that, as well as taking into account now that all the things we're learning in the conference this week, and even yesterday and today, with regards to the AI agents and how we might be able to leverage some of those to even take it to the next level. I'm really excited about that. And learning more about that.
Yeah, that's such a good point, Ryan, because what I'm hearing is, we're not just using ServiceNow, right, as an ITSM ticketing platform at your institution now. You are actually using it to solve business problems, right? So what are some of the industry challenges, right, they're seeing? We talk about increasing revenue, increasing the billable hours for the nurses. or make their employee experience better.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've seen that you could potentially leverage this solution?
Yeah, I mean, I think that some of the frustration of clinicians, both in my current role as where I was at in the past, is it's a matter of time, right? So if we can make that experience take less time for them, right, and give them tools at their fingertips, so to speak,
right,
that they could maybe not necessarily make decisions, but also possibly, but just make that process much quicker. Because if they're caring for their clients, patients, as an example, and if it's taking a long time, if you're on the phone on hold or whatever it might be, chances might hang up.
Right.
So we're trying to just make the process seamless. So we have a portal, as you know, that that you helped us develop. So I think taking a look at that and continuing to improve there as well, which I know we've discussed.
Yeah.
We have some other ideas for other departments within my larger team that we're looking to have roll out the use of ServiceNow that we've discussed.
Right.
With a couple different areas. And so I think when we develop those, really thinking of the end users, how it's going to not only benefit them, but also save them time and get them whatever they're requesting, whether it's something that they're requesting as, a piece of hardware or software or whatever that might be, or if something's broke, to try and ultimately speed up that process so they can continue to provide the care to their clients, to their patients, and just wherever we can make improvements there.
Yeah. Now, one of the unique things, right, that you guys have is not only you guys healthcare organization, but you're also one of the agencies in the county itself. So you have other departments, you have central IT. So how do you guys collaborate with other agencies and whatnot? And do you see any potential opportunities with ServiceNow?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
Definitely, within the county currently, there's multiple instances of ServiceNow.
Yeah.
And so as we work with other departments, periodically I'll see where maybe one of our team members, clinicians, has opened up a help desk ticket in that other instance of ServiceNow.
Yeah.
And we don't have visibility to that.
Yeah.
Or at least not to the degree that we're going to work that ticket in that system. So one of the things that we've discussed was having possibly some sort of integration, since we currently have 2 instances, or 3 actually, so that in a way those tickets could be shared. So as an example, let's say I open up a ticket in that instance, and now they're like, oh, well, this isn't for behavioral wellness.
Right.
So now they're like, well, I'm going to go to call behavioral wellness or email them. So now we're back to not having it in ServiceNow, and they're going to close that ticket. Where instead we've discussed, and it sounds like there is technology to do this, or functionality in that workflow, so that we could transfer those tickets from one instance to another, and then not lose track of that. And also the end user, they've already received that email. It can get confusing if they open a ticket and then they see it's closed and they didn't get resolution. And so that causes some confusion. So we'd avoid those types of confusion. So looking forward to that integration.
Yeah.
And it sounds like talking with your team last night that's something that you guys have done numerous times.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about that. And I think that will be a good benefit for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, one thing that really impressed me with the organization over the years, right, is you guys are not the largest organization in the world, but you seem to be willing to invest. You actually, the type of technology you acquired, it's actually pretty cutting edge. And you seem to be able to manage the team and continue to innovate over the years. Things are not stagnant, right? So what are some of the things you're seeing that you can potentially share with organizations of similar size? I don't have unlimited budget, but I still want to maximize my investment in ServiceNow. What's the best advice for?
I think one thing partnering with Alcor has been a benefit because we don't have, like you mentioned, my IT team isn't huge, and I don't have folks that are dedicated just specifically to development like some other organizations might have, or with regard to ServiceNow. So by partnering, as we work closely together, we're able to come up with those ideas, have you assist us develop those. And as you know, we're recently trying to work together to get some of that knowledge within our team for some individuals that we're trying to free up more time. And hopefully as we get more into the AI and all that, that will allow us to free up some of that work for some of my team members so they can continue to build upon their knowledge within ServiceNow, and we can really take advantage of some of the newer technologies that exist. You also had mentioned with regard to some of the other things, earlier, the software asset management that we're looking forward to putting in. That's going to really be, I think, a big benefit for us. And then also, I know in the past, I wasn't the original, but with regard to the hardware asset management
Correct.
that we submitted, and I think there were some things we talked about this week that we might be able to leverage to improve upon that too. As an example, when we purchase, our hardware, mostly laptops, there might be some desktops out there, and when we get those from our partners that we purchase those from,
Right.
Some of them are actually here at the conference.
Yeah.
We talked about.
Yeah.
But being able to get that information, right now we have a manual process where we're manually entering in some of that information into ServiceNow, and then when we deploy that hardware, we have to then, in Active Directory, we enter it there. So one of the things in talking with you and your team was that we could automate that, right? So we'd get that from our those partners we work with, get that information with all the serial numbers,
right?
And then you could even add our naming schema to, put however we're going to name that device with that serial number. You guys could manage that as well. And then I guess the other step we'll just have to figure out how to do is, I also would like to automate when we go to deploy that device to send that information to Active Directory, because that would just save more time. It's it's all going to add up for that one device. Maybe you're only saving 5 minutes now, or probably more than that. Yeah. But that just adds up, so it's cumulative, and it's not. Now I can that'll be nice to be able to see how much time we're saving, as a metrics.
Yeah. No, this is wonderful. So Ryan, that's all my questions. So I don't know if you have any closing comments, wisdom that you want to share with the audience.
Yeah, just this is my first time attending the conference, as you know, and so it's great to be here. I was able to bring a couple of my team members too. They're very excited to be here too, and just continue to partner with you and figure out there's so many different things that we want to automate, and I'm sure even between today and tomorrow there's going to be so much more that we learn about that we really would like to be interested to do, but help us stay realistic and really be able to say build upon. So I know that if we develop something, maybe we can't do that right now because we have to gradually get there. So I want to come up with that roadmap that we've worked on together, and really see those things that we need to do as we get closer, and so that we don't I won't say waste our time, but there's been times where sometimes you might have a project where you move forward with it, but then you didn't realize, oh, we needed to do this first, and now we have to kind of take it back, and that's going to not say delay, but it's just that project's going to take longer than maybe it normally should have. So I think we're just really having a clear roadmap, things that we want to do, have good use cases, and really just continue to partner together. So
okay, thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for the time. It's nice to be here.
Absolutely.